was in the 6th grade, my mother decided I should be in the Boy Scouts. I didn't know much about the Boy Scouts, but I didn't think too much of the idea. There wasn't any kids in our neighborhood, and my mom thought I should be playing with more boys. She thought it'd be a good idea for me to get out and meet other kids. I didn't think too much of it. I didn't know much about other little boys. I was a fat, shy, quiet little kid. Any of the little boys I knew, they're all mean, ready to fight, ready to hit somebody, and I avoided them every chance I could. Our troop met every Tuesday night at the rec room in the Methodist Church on Jamestown Road, 8 o'clock to 9, right when Laverne and Shirley and Happy Days were on. That was when the good Laverne and Shirley, before they moved to California. Flag signals is emergency, primitive, 2 flags on a stick you wave, say things like emergency, there's a bear in my tent, flat tire, something like that. I don't remember any of them. They didn't teach us anything that was any of use to me when I grew up. I need to know the flag signal for, I've got 2 cigarettes and 1 match, or it's almost happy hour and I need another round. But reading was the badge for me. That one I got within a month of being in Boy Scouts, and it took me 2 years to tell my father that I ever got it. Because anytime after that, anytime he could say, put down that book and go out and play, I could say, but Dad, I'm going for my reading badge. I never had to go out anymore. One spring, my father cleared a part of his garden and gave me some seeds. I was to have my own pumpkin patch. I planted them and watered them and watched them grow. All summer, I kept them weeded. I was so proud of my pumpkin plants. When fall came, my little pumpkins started to grow. By the time Thanksgiving and Halloween came, I had cute little pumpkins. My mom was proud of my pumpkins, too. She suggested I take one to school and give it to my teacher. I took one in and I gave it to her proudly. All the kids started calling me Farmer Fordham, Adam Pumpkinhead. I went home, took the hoe, and I just smashed up the pumpkin patch. Every one of those kids, I was just hitting when I just destroyed my pumpkin patch. My father came over, he was screaming and yelling at me. He didn't understand. Couldn't tell him what was happening, that I was ashamed of my little pumpkin patch. I just whacked him to pieces and cried and ran off into the woods. On my 10th birthday, my mom took me to drug fair. She told me I could get anything I wanted as long as it was under $10. I picked Monopoly. I hadn't really played the game before, but there was just so many things in it. There was money and cards and the little car that went around and the little top hat. There was just so many things to play with, which was kind of good because I really didn't have anybody to play it with. My sister was 5 years younger than me. She was just a little baby. Once in a while I would play it with her, and it would just cheat completely. I mean, it wasn't just enough that I could beat a little girl in a game of Monopoly. I had to massacre her. I just had to kill her. I had to win everything. I had to have every house, every hotel, every bit of money, all the utilities, everything. I would be so bad that I would stack the deck that I would know where the get out of jail card free would, so she wouldn't get it. I just cheated on everything, and then I'd win the game. After a while, it wasn't any fun to win. It got boring, and I just finally put the Monopoly away, and that was it for Monopoly for me. When I was a little boy, I had a little puppy. He was a cute little orange-colored puppy. I loved him. I called him Winnie the Pooh because Winnie the Pooh was my favorite character. I had so much fun with my little puppy. We'd play and we'd romp around in the yard. I loved puppies so much. I'd come home from school every day and I'd feed him and I'd water him and I'd brush him and I'd walk him. He was my best friend. One day I came home from school and I was running off the bus around the backyard, and Winnie the Pooh was gone. And my heart started to beat, and I didn't know where he was. I ran in and I said, Mommy, Mommy, Winnie the Pooh's gone. Where is he? Where is he? She said, I don't know. I didn't know he was gone. I went in and I saw my father. And I said, Winnie the Pooh's gone. Where's Winnie the Pooh? He told me when he left. I said, where did Pooh go? He said, you didn't love Pooh enough. He went to go find a little boy who would love him more than I did. I couldn't love Pooh more than I did. I can't believe any other little boy could. I still think about little Winnie the Pooh. I haven't had a dog since then. I found out years later that my father got rid of the dog because he cried too much. It kept him awake. He was just a little puppy. He was lonely in the yard. He could have slept with me. He wouldn't have cried if he was with me.
Oh, okay, you got it. That's what I wanted to know.
In the second grade, I was sent to the principal 3 times. Once for hitting a boy who stapled my finger, once for sniffing glue with the same boy, and once for telling a teacher that since she wasn't my teacher, I didn't have to listen to her. I did not complete my homework and had to watch as my 3rd grade classmates sang the song Sing on television. In the 8th grade, a girl called me a fag. I didn't understand why she said that. All my friends were girls, and I purposely stayed out of the who's cuter, Leif or Sean debate. In the 1st grade, a boy knocked over my building blocks, and I bloodied his face, beating him with one of the blocks, and had to go to the principal. During the 4th grade, I broke my leg. The coolest guy in the class offered to get my chair for me and pulled it away as I sat. That was the year I started to gain weight. In the 5th grade, I was never picked for a team. I was the default. One kid said he was sick of getting stuck with a fat kid, and when my back was turned, he threw and hit me with a softball in the head. We could not afford an instrument, so in the 7th grade, I took shop instead of band. Even though I was afraid of the handsaw, I made a birdhouse. It was stolen from my locker before grading time, so I got an F. I finally passed gym and driver's ed in the 11th grade. I was the oldest one in both classes. And a year after graduating high school, I entered arts college. In a one-on-one review of my progress, my instructor told me that if I prayed and went to church, I would get an A in our class. That was when I dropped out. I went to school for 14 years. This will be the 13th year that I have not had to go to school. And for that, from the deepest and most honest place in my heart, I thank God. Beep, beep.